Hello students, I hope you all are safe and doing well at your home. If you remember, in the previous videos, we have studied the second chapter from Science 1, that was periodic classification of elements. I hope you all have understood and studied it very well. Today, we will be starting with the next chapter from your textbook, that is fourth chapter, that is effects of electric current. This chapter, effects of electric current, it is the continuation of the chapter that we have already studied in 9th standard, current electricity. We will be recalling some of the concept from there also. So let us start the next chapter, that is lesson number 4, effects of electric current. So let us revise some of the topics that we have studied in the 9th standard. The very first topic is current electricity. Now, this was the name of the chapter, current electricity. Whenever the electricity flows in a metallic conductor, it carries electric charge in them. Okay. If you remember, we all have studied that whenever the electrons present in the metallic conductor, that electrons they carry charge, or you may call it as the electrons are called as the charge carriers. So whenever the electrons carries charges, they conduct electricity through them. Are you getting it? Now, unit of charge is coulomb. Okay. Unit of charge is coulomb. That is, charge is denoted with the help of Q, and coulomb it is denoted with the help of letter C. Unit of current is ampere, whereas current is denoted with the letter I and ampere is denoted with the letter A. Unit of potential difference is volt. The potential difference is denoted by the letter V, voltage if you remember, and its unit is voltage only, that is V. Potential difference, if you remember, we have studied that the potential difference always flows from the higher potential to the lower potential. And whatever the difference of charge is applied in a metallic conductor, it is called as what? It is called as potential difference. For example, if you apply a cell or a battery, that becomes what? That becomes a potential difference for that particular electric circuit. Unit of power is watt. Power is denoted with the letter P and watt is denoted with the letter W. Resistors and resistances. If you remember, we have studied the concept of resistor and resistances. Whenever the resistor is applied, it carries resistance in it. Now, what is resistance? The oppose of current. Okay. If you remember the concept, the flow of current in a wire, in that, if you remember, we have studied that the electric current flows with the help of the electrons present in it. So whenever the charge is applied, whenever the current is applied, these electrons, they are randomly arranged at first, but after that they comes in a straight line. While coming in a straight line, they collide with each other. They collide with each other. It means that whenever the collision is there, the oppose of the flow of charge happens there. So whenever the oppose of the charges are there, that it is because of what? Because of the resistance present in it. So these resistance are different for the different metallic conductor, and the resistance is denoted by the letter R in it. Based on the resistance, we have studied Ohm's law. Ohm's law, if I state Ohm's law can be stated as whenever the current I is applied in a metallic conductor with the help of the potential difference applied across it. Potential difference, that is V. Okay. So that potential difference will be directly proportional to the current. It means that whenever you will increase the current, the potential difference will also be increased. I'm sorry. If you see like this, the potential difference, whenever you increase the voltage, consider the example of stabilizer. If you see, whenever you are increasing the voltage, that voltage, increase in voltage, it result in the increase in the current also. So this is what this is, Ohm's law. Ohm's law can be stated as the potential difference applied across the conductor. It is directly proportional to the electric current, provided that the temperature, density, length, and area of cross section of the wire remains constant. This is the definition or the statement of the Ohm's law. Can be Ohm's law can be denoted, or you may call it as the formula for the Ohm's law is V is equal to IR. Its different version is I is equal to V upon R. Simply I, you are isolating I, then it will become V upon R. Similarly, R is equal to V upon I. You can put the Ohm's law with the help of V, I and R. V is equal to IR, I is equal to V upon R, and R is equal to V upon I. This is Ohm's law. The main thing you have to remember for Ohm's law, it is what? It is its statement that the potential difference is directly proportional to the electric current. Based on that, you can determine the formula. These are all of the concepts that we have already studied in the 9th standard. Good and bad conductors of electricity. Based on the resistance, you can determine the good and bad conductors of electricity. Suppose if a metallic conductor is there and its resistance is very low, very less resistance, so it will be a good conductor of electricity because the charge will easily be flown in the metallic conductor. Are you getting it? And if the resistance is higher, if the higher resistance is there, that will be considered as a bad conductors of electricity because the charge will not be flown easily through them. Are you getting it? So these are all of the concepts we have studied in the 9th standard. Are you getting it? Based on the concept that we have just revised, let us see, can you recall few of the concepts or these questions? First question is, how do we decide that a given material is a good conductor of electricity or is an insulator? Insulator, you may call it as bad conductor of electricity. Think about it. See, the answer will be based on the resistance that we have just studied. A material which has very low electrical resistance is called good conductor of electricity, obviously. And a material which has extremely high electrical resistances, if its electrical resistance is higher, it will be called as what? It will be called as an insulator. Let us see few of the example for the good as well as the insulator, good conductor of electricity or the insulator. The example for the good conductor of electricity will be silver, copper, aluminum. And the example for the bad conductor of electricity will be rubber, wood, glass. Are you getting it? So these are the good conductor of electricity or the bad conductor of electricity. Or the bad conductor of electricity is also called as the insulators. Second question is, iron is a conductor of electricity, but when we pick up a piece of iron resting on the ground, why don't we get electric shock? Think about it. Yes, obviously you thought it right. I guess so. That whenever the iron is resting on the ground and when you pick up a piece of it, you will not get the electric shock. Obviously, you will not get the electric shock. Why? Because it is not charged. It is not charged, it means that it doesn't carry the electric current through them. Whenever a potential difference is applied across it, whenever the potential difference is applied across is then only you may get a electric shock when you will touch it. So when we pick up a piece of iron resting on the ground, we don't get electric shock because that piece does not carry any electric current at that time. Understood? So it means that for a electric conductor to carry the electric current, there must be the flow of charge through them. Understood? Let's observe this picture, all of the picture. The first question is, what do you observe in the following pictures? In the picture number A, we can observe lamp is there, okay? Lamps is there, TV is there, computer, TV, computer. In picture number B, we are observing a electric fan. In picture number C, we are observing a electric bell. If you see, what effects of electric current do you find? Effects of electric current, if you see in the lamp, you will find that the heating effect of electric current, production of light through the electric current. In picture number B, if you observe that in the electric fan, conversion of electrical energy into mechanical energy. Conversion of electrical energy into mechanical energy. Whenever you switch on the button, you will find that the blade of fan start rotating. So it means that the electricity is getting converted into mechanical energy, or you may call it as the electrical energy gets converted into mechanical energy. And the picture number C, if you see electric bell, in electric bell, what happens? The mechanical energy gets converted into sound energy. This sound disc is there, metal disc is there. Whenever this strike on this, so you will hear the sound produced by them, and this striker is connected with the help of what? With the help of the electricity. See here, the battery is there. Whenever the button is switched on, this striker strike the bell and you can hear the sound produced in it. Are you getting it? So with the help of these picture, what can you conclude? You can conclude that the electrical energy gets converted into some of the different energy. Are you getting it? And that is called as the effects of electric current. One by one, in this chapter, we will be trying to understand the different effects of electric current. The magnetic effect of electric current, heating effect of electric current, all of these concepts. Understood? The first effect that we are going to study in the chapter effects of electric current is heating effect of electric current. See, heating effect of electric current, it is produced with the help of what? With the help of the resistance only. Take the example of electric bulb. If you see electric bulb, whenever you on that electric bulb, after some of the time, whenever you go and try to touch that bulb, you will feel that the bulb has become warm. Why is this so? It is because the wire present inside it it start to heat. In the previous slides, I've already mentioned that whenever the resistance is produced in a electric conductor, it produce an with the help of the electrons present in it, collision of electrons, and whenever the electrons collide with each other, they produce what? They produce certain amount of heat among them. So this becomes the heating effect of electric current. And in physics, there are wide applications for the heating effect of electric current. So when a resistor is connected in an electric circuit, heat is produced in it due to the current. This is known as the heating effect of electric current. Equipment such as water boiler, electric cooker, electric bulb make use of the heating effect of electric current. Electrical conductors having higher resistivity are used. Obviously, the substances that will be used for producing the heating effect, it will be what? It will be the electrical conductors having higher resistivity. For example, a coil made up of an alloy nichrome is used in electric heater cooker as a resistor, while a tungsten wire is used in an electric bulb. I will show you the picture also. See, this coil of the cooker, it is made up of what? Nichrome coil. Are you getting it? Nichrome or any of the other substances or the metals that has higher resistivity. Are you getting it? In the bulb, the wire used, it is what? It is tungsten wire. Why tungsten only? Because the tungsten wire has a higher melting point. It doesn't melt easily. Are you getting it? But whenever the electric current is passed through them, it ignites such that the light is produced. Because of the current, this wire gets heated to nearly 3400 degrees Celsius and then emits light. So the melting point of a tungsten wire, it is more than the 3400 degree Celsius. Are you getting it? These are all the heating effect of electric current. Because of the electricity, the heating effect is produced. In the ninth standard, what the concept that we have studied was based on the electric current. But here in the 10th standard, that the concept that we are trying to understand, it is what? It is its effect. So the first effect that we have just now studied, it is what? It is heating effect of electric current. I hope you all have understood it. Okay. Once again, I'll try to revise the concept that we have studied here. The Because of what? Because of the resistor. Because of the oppose of the flow of electron. Whenever the electrons collide with each other, they produce certain amount of heat through them, and that heat result in the heating effect. Are you getting it? So that heating effect that can be used in certain equipments such as water boiler, electric cooker, electric bulb, and these are all of the equipments that we commonly use. So heating effect of electric current, they has its wide application in physics. Understood everyone? Always remember, the unit of electric power, 1 watt, is a very small unit. Hence, 1000 watt or 1 kilowatt is used as a unit to measure electric power. 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watt. Are you getting it? The unit of electric power is 1 watt, that is very small. So that is why always the unit of power or the measurement of the power that is used, it is used in the terms of kilowatt or 1000 watt. Okay, 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watt is used as a unit to measure electric power in practice. If 1 kilowatt power is used for 1 hour, it will mean that 1 kilowatt multiply by 1 hour of electrical energy is used. Are you getting it? So see here, 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 kilowatt hour, that is 1000 watt hour. 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watt, and multiply by 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So that is why 1 kilowatt hour, its unit or its measurement is 3.6 multiplied by 10 raised to 6 watt second, or you may call it as 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joules. Understood, everyone? So this is the derivation of it. Always remember 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watt, and 1 kilowatt hour, its unit is 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 watt second, or 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joules. Understood? Next concept that we will be studying is fuse wire and its uses. Several times we hear or read about a building catching fire due to short circuit. Do you know why short circuit usually happens? It is because of the failure in the fuse wire. I will tell you how. Sometimes if we switch on an equipment in our house, the electrical fuse wire melts and the electrical supply shuts down. See, usually these are the fuse wire that is used. Usually this fuse, this one, see the pointer, this one we have seen, okay, commonly. So this wire, this fuse has a thin wire in it, and whenever this thin wire it melts, the electric connection between all of the appliances at our home, they breaks down. But what if this fuse is not there? What will happen? The wire that is used in our electrical appliances, they are of three wires: live wire, neutral wire, and green wire. Okay, so the home electrical connection consists of live, neutral, and earth wires. The live and the neutral wires have a potential difference of 220 volts. The earth is connected to the ground, and due to a fault in the equipment, or if the plastic coating on the live wire and the neutral wire gives away, the two wires comes in contact. The two wire comes in contact with each other, and a large current flows through it, producing heat. That is why the short circuit happens. So because of the contact between the live wire and the neutral wire, what will happen? It may lead to the short circuit. A large amount of heat is released because of the contact of live wire and the neutral wire, and due to that, what will happen? The whatever the appliance is there, that appliance catches fire. So therefore the fuse wire, the fuse is used as what? The fuse is used as the precautionary measure for avoiding these kind of fires at home. These are the different kinds of fuse used in the different appliances. Few of them you may have seen it in the appliances, usually in the lights and all, usually in different appliances these fuse are used. Are you getting it? So the short circuit can be avoided with the help of what? With the help of the fuse. So you understood how the short circuit happens? Short circuit happens because of what? Because of the contact of the live wire and the neutral wire. And see, one more thing, the code, the color code that is used in India for determining the live, neutral, and earth wire is red for live wire, neutral wire is denoted with the help of the black color wire, and the earth wire is denoted with the help of the green wire. Are you getting it? Same concept is for the earthing also. In the earthing, the earth wire is connected with the appliances such that whenever these appliances is coming in direct contact with the naked wire, what will happen at that time, these, if the earth wire is present, that earth wire is connected to the ground. Whatever the current will be there, that current will directly goes into the ground itself. Are you getting it? So that the metallic body of that particular appliances will not be electrified. Hence, you will be prevented from getting electric shock. Understood? Is that clear? So, with the help of these fuse, you can avoid the short circuit. So usually at a home, this fuse wire is used. Inside this fuse, a thin wire is there. So current, whenever the electric current increases, the intensity of the electric current increases, the wire in this fuse gets melt, and hence breaking the connection of the appliances. Hence our appliance is saved. The same concept, similar to that of the short circuit, is the overloading. See, many of the times, particularly in the summer season, huge electrical power is used in the evenings due to home lighting, fans, air conditioner, use of electricity in shops, etc. As a result, excessive current is drawn from the transformer supplying the electricity. And if the capacity of the transformer is insufficient, its fuse wire melts and the supply gets shut down. So such events occur due to overloading. Consider it that if that transformer doesn't have the ability of the fuse wire in it, what will happen? That transformer will burst down, will explode. Are you getting it? So you're understanding the importance of the fuse wire. So this is the importance, or you may call it as the uses of the fuse wire. Nowadays, the MCBs are used in the domestic electric circuit. MCB, it is also called as the miniature circuit breakers. It breaks the circuit. In the further slide, we will be seeing the picture of the MCB. I hope you all have understood about the fuse wire and its uses. Understood, everyone? See, these days, miniature circuit breakers, MCB switches are used in homes. When the current in the circuit suddenly increases, this switch opens and current stops. Different types of MCBs are in use for the entire house. However, the usual fuse is used. See here. You may have seen it in your house also. MCBs are used. So whenever the current is suddenly increased, at that time what will happen? This MCB, they will be dropped down, hence breaking the connection of the home electrical appliances. Are you getting it? So what we have studied today, we have revised some of the concept that was based on the 9th standard. We have done the revision of that topics. We have studied about the heating effects of electric current, how the electric current flows. We have studied about the resistors and resistances. We have seen the application of the heating effect of electric current in the electric cooker, in the bulb. We have studied the concept of heating effect of electric current based on the fuse wire. We have seen the fuse wire, the short circuit, how the short circuit can be avoided with the help of the fuse wire. And the concept of the fuse wire is based on the heating effect of electric current only. We have studied about some of the functions of the fuse wire and its uses. We have studied about the MCBs, that is miniature circuit breakers. I hope you all have understood the concept, whatever has been taught to you today. So thank you for listening it. I hope you will be studying and referring the concepts or the topics that has been taught to you today with the help of your textbook. Once again, Thank you very much.